somewhere in space.
Ah, the old remote control. That's right, I wonder what's on cable today. Cable! So many channels, so many vast decisions and choices to choose from. But how did it all start? How did cable even get here?
The sound picture you are about to see and hear.
It is claimed that the first cable television system in the United States was created in 1940 in Mahanoy City, Pennsylvania by John Walson to provide television signals to people whose reception was poor because of tall mountains and buildings that blocked the TV signals. The United States Congress and the National Cable Television Association has recognized Walson as having invented cable television in the spring of 1948. In 1950, Robert Tarleton developed the first commercial cable television system in the United States. Tarleton organized a group of fellow television set retailers in Lansford, Pennsylvania, to offer television signals from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania broadcast stations to homes in Lansford for a fee.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
The system was then featured from New York Times to Newsweek to the Wall Street Journal. The publicity of this successful early system set off a wave of cable system construction throughout the United States.
Monsters do have their place. In the zoo, in your nightmares, in the deep, in your favorite horror movies. But not in your living room, on your TV. Don't let pay TV be the monster in your living room. Pay TV and cable TV companies are seeking the right to charge you for the very programs you now get free. If you want to stop pay TV and save free television, sign the petition in the lobby of this theater. Let your lawmakers know how you feel in the fight against pay TV and cable TV.
Just an old-fashioned love song coming down in three-part harmony.
By the early 1970s, there were many subscription television services in many major markets around the United States, including Select TV, Prism, Starcase, Spectrum, Preview, VU, Wameco Home Theater, Super TV, and Z Channel.
Don't forget this.
Look out, give the kid some room. He's taking over again. Hooray! Go, Tony! Go! Take it, Tony! Let's go!
By 1977, On TV was born, an American subscription television service owned by National Subscription Television, operating in such major markets as Los Angeles, Chicago, and Detroit. On TV aired a broad mix of feature films from mainstream Hollywood blockbusters to pornographic films as well as sports events and specials. The service changed names to On Subscription Television in 1983 after purchasing the subscriber list from Spectrum and continued operations until shutting down 2 years later in 1985.
In 1982, On-TV executives convinced George Lucas to sell them the rights for the very first broadcast of the very first Star Wars. The rights to broadcast Star Wars were obtained by On-TV. For a one-time pay-per-view showing in September of that year.
Will this beast save outer space or destroy it? This thing is an eyesore. May heaven forgive us. It came from behind the dark planet, mutated by cosmic gases. Can Eyesore be harnessed by OSI-74? Or will he be our own undoing? Stay tuned. There's more in our store. Shop OSI-74. Little creatures that go bump, crash, and cause mischief in the night have always been lurking in our collective unconscious. Goblins, goons, trolls, gnomes, bogies, imps live in our superstitions, fairy tales, and nightmares. The stories of gremlins were first popularized during World War II, when planes wouldn't fly right or came back from missions with inexplicable damage and mechanical problems. The airmen jokingly blamed it on small, fantastic creatures who like to cause mischief. These pesky, mythical beasts are often described as mini gargoyles, sometimes with long ears. Always hiding, watching, and listening, they wait for the perfect time to hide our keys, wallets, and clean socks. They laugh at our panic and confusion, and they especially love it when we get angry or humiliate ourselves. They mock our reliance on technology. Supposedly, when those first young British pilots who spread stories of these creatures inspected their engines and systems, they came across wires and small parts that were frayed or chewed on. Of course, this could have been explained away as rats, but these stories were a welcome distraction in wartime and fueled the imagination of young men who are away from home and in real danger.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft.
In 1943, the children's book author Roald Dahl, who later created Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach, wrote a book called The Gremlins for Walt Disney Productions. It became a favorite of readers around the world, including a young Joe Dante, who grew up to make a feature film called Gremlins in 1984, produced by Steven Spielberg, who was also a Warner Brothers and Disney cartoon buff.
Billy Pelser has a nice home.
Billy, is that you?
In Dante's horror comedy, informed by both the Disney book and the Warner Brothers cartoons, a young man receives a sweet, strange, furry creature called a mogwai as a pet.
No.
What happened?
He hates bright lights. You know, there's some things I forgot to tell you guys, and they're really important. Number one, he hates bright lights.
This pet comes with a special set of rules. Keep it out of the sun, don't get it wet, and don't feed it after midnight. If these rules are not obeyed, the mogwai will spawn other evil creatures with scaly skin and big ears that will destroy everything in their path with wicked greed. Gremlins was a huge success with fans and critics. However, parents heavily criticized that it was too dark and violent for kids. In response to this and similar complaints about other PG films, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and Poltergeist, ironically all produced by the king of family entertainment at the time, Steven Spielberg, Spielberg suggested that the Motion Picture Association of America, MPAA, create a new rating between PG, which stood for Parental Guidance Suggested, and R, which restricted all viewers under 18. A brand new rating, PG-13, was created 2 months after the film's release. The Gremlins from Doll's Book also appeared in Disney comic books and was a promotional product for a film about the Gremlins. However, the film was scrapped due to technical and legal problems, or gremlins of its own. The artwork of Disney's Gremlins were used on patches and insignia worn by Allied pilots. The characters are seen today in the Epic Mickey video games.
A constant menace to pilots are the gremlins who wreck planes with their diabolical sabotage.
Always in tune with the pop culture of the day were Bugs Bunny cartoons shown in theaters. And in 1943, Bugs matches wits with a gremlin on an airplane in Falling Hair, Kremlin the Gremlin, and also returns in 1944 in a Bob Clampett cartoon called Russian Rhapsody. Warner Brothers avoided having the name Gremlins in the titles of those tunes due to Disney's project.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. The creator of The Twilight Zone, Rod Serling, was a World War II paratrooper, and many of his stories are about the Air Force or aircraft. In Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, a 1963 Twilight Zone episode, William Shatner sees a mischievous creature on the wing of a passenger plane in flight, causing mischief that may threaten the lives of everyone on board. In another retelling of the legend, Shatner's role was played by John Lithgow in the 1983 film Twilight Zone, the movie, with other segments by Dante and Spielberg.
A trip beyond the future to a universe you've never seen before. A universe of mystery. A universe of passionate fantasies.
In the 1981 adult animated anthology film, Heavy Metal, based on the comic magazine, Dan O'Bannon, writer of the film Alien, spins a sci-fi tale originally called Gremlins, about ghouls on a 1940s bomber plane. Renamed B-17 upon the film's release, when the Gremlins were updated as zombies of the plane's deceased crew. In the 1980s, special effects and fantasy films were king, and horror comedies with fantastic creatures were gobbled up by eager fans needing an escape from reality. Gremlins remain relevant today.